Most encounters in life are ordinary. People meet, exchange words, and walk away unchanged. Conversations pass the time, but they rarely leave a mark on the direction of one's life. But something entirely different happens when two awakened souls meet. An awakened soul is not someone mystical or superior. It is not about status, knowledge, or perfection. It is simply a person who has become conscious of their inner world. Someone who understands that thoughts are causes and circumstances are effects. Someone who knows, as Earl Nightingale taught, that life unfolds according to what we consistently think about. An awakened soul has stopped drifting. They no longer live on autopilot, reacting endlessly to events, opinions, and emotions. They observe their thoughts instead of being controlled by them. They choose their direction instead of waiting for life to push them somewhere. When such a person moves through the world, they carry a quiet clarity. They do not rush to prove themselves. They are not easily shaken by criticism or praise. They listen deeply, speak intentionally, and act with purpose. Now imagine two people like this meeting. There is no need for posturing, no need to impress or dominate the conversation, no need to hide behind titles, achievements, or social roles. Instead, there is recognition. Not recognition of the personality, but of the awareness behind it. A shared understanding that both are responsible for their own lives, that both know the power of disciplined thinking and deliberate choice. In this space, conversation feels different. Words are not thrown out carelessly. They are chosen because both understand that words shape thought and thought shapes reality. Silence becomes meaningful instead of uncomfortable. There is no rush to fill it because presence itself carries value. Ideas are explored, not defended. Differences are examined without ego. Agreement is not required for respect to exist. This is where reality begins to shift. Not through mystery or coincidence, but through alignment. When two awakened minds share the same space, attention sharpens, clarity multiplies, purpose becomes stronger simply by being witnessed and reflected. Each person reinforces the other's commitment to growth. Each reminds the other of what is possible when thinking is deliberate and focused. As Earl Nightingale emphasized, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. When two awakened souls meet, those ideals do not stay abstract. They gain energy. They gain direction. This kind of meeting does not end when the conversation ends. It carries forward as momentum, and momentum, when guided by awareness, has the power to reshape a life. The shift that happens when two awakened souls meet is often quiet and easy to overlook. There is rarely a dramatic moment or a sudden declaration that everything has changed. No thunder, no applause, no instant revelation. And yet, something real begins to move beneath the surface. Each person leaves the encounter subtly different than before. Thoughts feel clearer, doubts feel less heavy, direction feels more certain. There is a renewed sense of alignment with who they are becoming and why they are walking the path they have chosen. This happens because awakened souls reflect truth back to one another, not through lectures or advice, but through presence, through the way they speak, listen, and hold themselves. They remind each other that responsibility cannot be outsourced, that growth is a personal commitment, that excuses are optional, but discipline is essential. Earl Nightingale often reminded us that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. When two awakened souls meet, that ideal becomes sharper. It stops being vague or distant. It becomes practical, actionable, personal. They do not encourage comfort for comfort's sake. They encourage growth, even when growth feels uncomfortable. They do not validate fear as an identity. They acknowledge fear and move forward anyway. They do not ask what might go wrong. They ask what must be developed, strengthened, or learned in order to succeed in these conversations. Responsibility is never avoided. Blame is never celebrated. Victimhood finds no place to settle. Instead, there is a shared understanding that circumstances may influence life, but they never determine it. Over time, these meetings begin to affect decisions. Decisions shape habits, habits shape character, and character quietly shapes destiny long before results become visible. This is how reality truly shifts, not through grand announcements, but through repeated clarity. Thought by thought, choice by choice, action by action. You may not recognize the impact immediately, days or weeks may pass. But then you notice something different. You hesitate less. You choose more deliberately. You act with greater confidence, not because fear has vanished, but because it no longer holds authority. You begin expecting more from yourself. You tolerate less distraction. You honor your word more seriously. These are not accidents. They are the echo of awakened connection. When two awakened souls meet, they do not escape the world or retreat into abstraction. They return to their lives more engaged than before, more conscious, more disciplined, more committed to excellence. They move forward with sharper focus, steadier resolve, and a deeper sense of purpose. And from that place, everything they touch begins to change.